off automatically. Hopefully there is no issue with the Cellcom or XOX black kind of connections for today. Because yesterday, my class is going to be very quite good. Okay, there, right?
Mhm.
Got to make sure you are. Okay. Okay, what do I miss there? Does Nanya count?
That we were doing a
Oh,
discussion about isekai, accidental adventure, because
okay.
that is the theme of their comics, the comic production that they have to produce for their project tree. So that means the story, the narrative must be based on accidental adventure or isekai.
Okay. Right. What basically I've been actually been observed, okay, from our student there, okay, for you guys there basically, okay. In the research wise and also how to compiling all the research, I would say that you guys have a one of the best kind of executions, okay, on preparing your kind of standard kind of research, your finding in order to develop basically your assignments or your projects, right? But the thing that I find from most of people basically, okay, is the executions lah. Right. For me, from my kind of what we call the point of view is basically is a lack of exercise, like it's a lack of experimentation, explorations there. Okay. Those are the things that I find that quite a little bit kind of loose, lah, okay, especially for the newcomers there, okay. But that one also can be improved from time to time there. But the thing that I have discussed, maybe I can raise also, okay, with in our meeting today is one of the things that we always worried, okay, about you guys is you using other people's works, even though, all right, even though, all right, okay, in basically in learning experience, yes, tracing, copying other people's work is a part of the art there, okay, art kind of process there, learning art there, okay, learning art and design there, okay, copying and also tracing there, okay. But if you copy directly, right, okay, or you use other people's works to submit for your own kind of submission for your own kind of projects, that things were not are going to be a very healthier kind of activities there. It's not good basically, right? Okay. So we have basically on behalf of Miss Anis and me there, okay, we have to raise this kind of issue. Hopefully, Miss Anis also have given this kind of what we call the information there, okay. We don't want you guys to copy from other people's works directly and use it as a part of your works in the future. There. I did mention to you guys before, I think last week, because when I look at most of your submissions, your blogs there, okay, most of your kind of what is the interesting about your blogs is when you actually put your reference on top of your finding and also your blogs there, okay. The way that you arrange is good because people will know basically how actually you get the ideas from, where your influence from, okay. But the way that you arrange the way that you arrange your kind of blocks, your layout, your compositions, your arrangement on your reference, people might misunderstand lah. For me, if I a layman or some of your future employees there, okay, who want to recruit you guys as a part of my what we call that future kind of staff there, right, okay, workers there. I thought basically in the first glance, okay, that the works that you actually post, right, the reference that you post basically is your works there, right? Okay. But when I actually go through with all the works, okay, to down below, okay, on the process and our development and the final works, they are not basically as we actually understand it. It's not actually quite impressive at the reference there. Is the normal thing, but I actually have shown one of your friend, if I'm not mistaken, how to arrange more better there, okay, in order to develop your kind of reference. This is one of the, sorry, I didn't share there, okay? Let me share that first. Okay. I will share you guys back again how to arrange them because this is also important. The layout compositions play a very huge kind of role there. That's why you guys learn design there, right? Okay. Because in order to, this is what I've actually thought, okay. Because when I actually read and also browse your browse, right? If you put every single works, okay, in every single page, in every single kind of layout, okay, they actually show basically this is that people always thought that this is your works there at the first stage. But if you actually, you guys can see my screen sharing there, right? If you guys actually put into this kind of compositions there. So one page basically, there's a number kind of reference there, okay, that you put inside there, okay, and you put also reference and visual research samples from these compositions there on top of it. Then people will notice, okay, this is a part of your kind of research there. So people will not actually misunderstand about your presentations, right? This is important because your reference basically is like a mood board, right? Okay, because if you do some fashion design, for example, okay, I always admire like how actually this fashion kind of departments design, okay, they put the reference as a mood board. They call it a mood board, right? Okay, so they put all the the visual informations basically, okay, on one single kind of layout there, okay, and people can take a look at the number of the reference that you guys have been using as a reference there, as influence there, as a guide there, okay, in order to develop your own kind of works there, okay. This is a part of it, guys. Please take notes, please. If you can actually improve it more on your composition on your blogs, it would be better there, okay, because this is for you guys there. We don't want to make people misunderstand there, okay. When people misunderstand, sometimes the high expectation that people have from your reference will go into a little bit more kind of low kind of percentage there, right? Okay. So we don't want to have this kind of things there. Just good have a, it's a good have a reference there, but when we see the process, then we can understand. Oh yes, okay, this is the earlier process of working there. Okay, people understand how students work there, but the good impression is very good, okay, but not a good impression from other people's works. It has to be from your own works. Either you actually came from hospitality kind of courses, or any kind of different kind of courses other than creative there, right? Okay, or FIT. Please actually take notes on that, okay? Because this is a very I think this is one of the examples that I actually also use, okay, when I actually want to submit my works to my clients there. Because I will give more and more information first, but I gather all the informations normally in one single kind of page there, so people can see the number kind of reference that we have. Because normally client also is quite naive directly. It's more naive than us directly. So they just actually take whatever they actually we give them directly. So it's up to us to decide whether um, the things they want to present are going to be work according to what we plan with them or without them, right? Okay, depending the right. Okay, so that's why having a reference, okay, also really important. Okay, I want to share some of the things also. Okay, this is basically my development research there, not other people's works, my own research based on my drawings there. Okay, so when I actually create, okay, because we're talking about comic today, right? I just want to share something a little bit more. When I actually did my own research, other than going to that places there, okay, this is something also that I did also for my research. Okay, drawing, developing, sketches also is a part of the research. That this is one of the compilation of research that I actually did visually using my own drawings before I'm going to finalize the comics there. Okay, I did a few number kind of drawing as a part of the research there before I finalize them, based from the characters that I draw, right? Okay, based on the placement, the layout, compositions there, the panels there. Okay, so uh, if I might going to, if I can spare a little bit kind of my time here to share my kind of experience there, right? Okay, this is some of the research also that I did a lot of drawings there for these characters there. even though basically these projects were postponed because of PKP, but when I actually have this kind of projects before PKP, okay, for this ginger ray kind of product there, okay, this one of the product there, okay, I did a huge number kind of developments there, visuals developments there, from sketches, some of the earlier stage, but some of the earlier stage of my work also look like finalizations there. I finalized those characters there first because I know the clients. Sometimes when we give a lot of this kind of thing with the clients, client also a bit kind of what we call that. They also cannot make their own decisions there. Okay, so those are basically the challenge also. So I did a few sketches manually, digitally there. Okay, and also I do some research there. Okay, for some people actually have done pangolin in 3D, but this is not my works. Right, this is a sample of the works that I want to see. I want to develop a little bit kind of my own understanding there. Okay, if the characters will look into 3 dimensionals with a similar kind of form and structures there, okay, how actually going to be looked there, okay. So because pangolin characters is hard to find there, okay. People design a pangolin characters, okay, at the open kind of sources there, okay. So I have to go to the toy store also to find some of the characters that look a bit more like a pangolin there, okay. So I gather a lot of information from there. But of course, before you want to start any kind of jobs, make sure you get 50% first. That's basically important there. Then you actually can do as much as research that you want. Take 50% of your payroll or your cut first with your clients before you're going to do your job. This is one of the illustrations that I did just to give more ideas with the client. Because if the clients doesn't know what they want, so you have to provide more information to them. That's the things there. All right, okay. Because previously maybe they have been working on it. This is also one of my visual research there. Okay, I did a lot of number kind of research there before I'm going to decide. Okay, sometimes the research that I actually have, it doesn't have any connections there. Okay, see, right, but it's actually have a, a, a kind of interest to my eyes there. Okay, these are some of the pangolin characters from one of the game, I think, from the Angry Bird there, right? So I have to go through with all this kind of process. We have to go through there, okay, before we want to decide. Those are the things that you have to remember there, okay? Talking about the comics back again, uh, um, where is it there, right? Character sketch. Hopefully I have here there. Reference to heroes. I don't know. Maybe I can get it right. So the final, I think you guys seen it, right? The finals before, right, in my blogs. Okay. Hopefully you guys have seen it, right? So this is basically what I did for one of my digital illustration classes. The 6 characters of fan art there, okay? This is one of the previous kind of subjects that I actually conducted, okay, for the final works for the students there. So I did also the demo for digital illustration from there. But they don't need animation like you guys are, okay? So you guys have the animation there, right? So we talk about that later on, and we try to give a little bit kind of samples there. But other than that, other than what I want to, what we call that, demonstrate there, right? For you guys, I need also to find, right, some of the works there. This one basically I'm going to use for today classes. This also for my digital classes, digital illustration classes, but I have one of the assignments that we call digital caricatures there, but not for you guys there, okay? So the students basically from multimedia subjects have need to, what we call that, to explore a little bit kind of superimpose combined with drawings there, okay, styles there. In Photoshops, they actually working and using purely in Photoshop there, okay? I'm going to save the files there first for you guys here. I'm going to use them for create some sort of simple animations from there, right? Because most animations from our subject basically is quite light kind of animations, not just like that flying split kind of guy that I did last week there, right? But I did also show you guys purely basically, okay, from one of your friends' works to create some animations, all right? Hopefully it helped, but if you guys still have some sort of like confusions, it's okay, right? Hopefully we can guide you guys more from there, right? I have a number kind of same illustrations, but these subjects basically, my subjects basically that I actually create for the students. Okay, one of the project is create your own superheroes based on your own face and using digital caricatures there. So those are the data I did for the students. For some of the students, a little bit kind of tough because this is a degree student also, because they doesn't attend basically pure drawing classes there. Right? So that's why they find quite hard now for them to execute that kind of execution that kind of. Even though I actually have given also just like you guys a number kind of demonstrations there. But yes, if you have a very slow or lack of improvement on or developing your kind of skills, okay, from there, but you don't actually practice a lot, okay, it's really going to be quite hard lah, okay. I actually admit that, right? Okay, it's going to be hard for you guys there. That's why illustrations is basically not only tools that using the tools, that is a creative kind of process there, okay, that needs a lot of practice there, a lot of practice, okay. I don't know whether I have here there, okay, the final comics there, okay. But it's okay. Can we make the comic in black and white, or white, or do must be using color? Up to you. Yeah, yes, depending there, okay, on your concept there, okay. That's why you need to find some reference there to work, okay, a good reference there, because even though I'm giving you guys some samples before this, right, like this kind of comics there, right, that represent basically our projects there, right, okay, but you can actually redraw them there, okay, you can redraw them there. So if you actually have experienced some of the image manipulations, right, image manipulation kind of subjects, which is you can actually like compose them back, draw your own characters, for example, okay, but using different kind of elements like as I show you guys from the earlier development sketches here, because you guys cannot wait, you know. I always, maybe this is only my, okay, but the way that I saw, maybe most of you guys always wait for these sessions that you want to show some improvements there, okay. You don't actually work from time to time along the way, okay, because you, for example, you guys around 2 weeks there, okay. I heard you guys want to delay a little bit on these projects, so we're good at it, right? Okay? But the thing is, you cannot actually do it last minute. There has to be in the a certain kind of progress kind of works that you actually work from time to time. When you saw basically some of the work that I've done with your friends kind of works there, right, okay, which I actually do entirely direct, okay. For me, if I were you guys also uh in your shoes, right, okay, I will have also a lot of struggles. But the point is right now, when I'm actually working with my own works, same as you guys, right, I normally I'm going to plan back again ahead directly. I don't actually wait until last minute that to work with it. Okay. So this is one of the work that I did from your friends kind of samples there, right? Hopefully you guys have seen these videos, even though it's quite boring, the tutorial class, there's a lot of talking, demonstrations, right? But this is one of the examples that I can give you guys to to learn about animation in a very simple kind of way, even though some of the techniques is quite a bit complicated to you guys there, but it's very direct there, okay? Everything is basically right here in the timeline there, okay, to work with. Okay? So hopefully you guys can learn a little bit more from there. I will show you guys also some new images that we can actually play, a very simple animation from there. I just want to find because if you really actually want to work smart, for like some of the students that I saw there, okay, from here, for example, they use okay, I actually use
صوتنا أنزل مكالمة.
yes. What is it? What the
Uh,
hell?
some,
رجعت فتت.
Yeah,
someone
what's
got the
it?
mic on.
بعد ما مشكلة.
Ah,
Who is that?
sounds worried there, right? Sounds worried there. Girl, are you worried there? Who is it? Ari, Ra. Ah, Rahat, right? Rahat there, right? You sounds worried there. Huh? Is there anything you want to share with us, Rahat?
So
No.
she was probably just talking to like her mom or something.
Oh, okay. Hopefully, right. Hopefully, you're not actually right.
Yeah,
Not
hopefully.
worried there. Who's it? Siti Sophia, huh? Right.
Yeah, that's me, sir.
Uh, look like a matured kind of woman there, okay? I thought I was talking to one of the lecturers also too there, right? All right. Okay, guys, okay. Whose work is this? This is from your groups or what? Right. Hopefully you don't use back again this work, okay, to submit, but you can actually use the same method if you want to. It's okay because learning process, yes. But most of the time we have to copy first, okay, from other people's works there. It's not if you copy from my kind of tutorials, it's not basically a plagiat. Right? It's not actually using other people's work there because you learning from me is a must. Basically, you follow the directions that we use. But if you use other people's works there, just to copy back again, or you just what we call that, just share and save it back again and submit the works there. Okay, that's not a good thing there, right? Okay, because the point is right now you have to understand one thing: what are the value that you learn from the lessons. Those are the first things there. You spend times. I sacrifice a lot of the time there, right? Even though we all have the certain kind of challenges there, okay? But we always try to be here with you guys, But the value that we get, even though you can gain not more than 50%, is a part of the starting point for you guys to improve there. But you have to push forward a bit more and more from there. Okay? Those are the things there, right? So always have the progress, okay? Not more than 50, because you cannot actually complete 100% kind of progress. No one can there, right? Okay? Even I'm also always keep on learning there. But slow progress is better than no progress. Remember that. Okay? So this is one of the works that I actually get from one of your friend, which is there's a few kind of challenges also we have there, right? For example, when I actually get these pictures there, okay, it's a flattened kind of images there. But I did show you guys how actually we can actually improve more on the presentations using a flat surface, but we're combining all the tools, the basics tool that I use there, okay, to manage first the layers, to enhance more on the colors, to add more effects on the layers using the basic brushes there to move around and use some glow effects there, okay? All these kind of standard kind of tools that can make and enhance alignment more on your presentations there. Those are the first things there, right? Okay, that you have to consider that first. I get some of the what we call that personal kind of message also that, okay, that uh, from the students that actually ask, okay, how detailed we can go or what we can actually improve, okay, from the works itself. There, for example, there, right, okay, I would say, right, some of the detailing from these areas, for example, because overall looks okay, okay. Be careful when you do some backlight for these images there, right, for this object, okay. Try to blend a little bit with some gradients, maybe opacity, transparency, okay, different layers there, okay. There's a lot of things we can do from there, right? Or even though you want to combine, uh, if you want to separate the layers and bring into, for example, like Photoshops, okay, different layers, okay. This is a foreground, one layers, a few kind of backgrounds, okay, for different layers there, a ground also, middle ground, some different layers, and then you can actually just do some selections over here and put some backlight kind of colors there, okay. So there's a lot of things that you can do. You just have to explore a little bit. All the tools that you need were there that you actually have been learned. You just have to develop basically the process creatively, okay, on your own there, okay. Even though we can actually show you guys, I already show you guys also some of the important methods there, how it works there. For example, when I actually want to do some selections like this, for example, if I want to do some backlight there, right, for somebody, okay, these backlights are going to be in these areas there, right? So what I can do, for example, like the backlight may be around yellow in colors there, for example. I'm using soft brushes size, and I can actually spray there, right? For example, like this, right? Using different layers there. So if you give a bit kind of different kind of approach there, right? Okay, on the works there, different kind of presentations there, right? They will look a bit more different, right? Right? Without backlight and with the backlight, okay? But it has to be logical also at the same time there, right? Okay? So I separate basically the mouth there, okay? Right? This one also can be animate there. Sorry. I have to lock this one there first. Right? And actually right can lock some of the areas here. Right. Now we can actually separate them, we can animate them, we can actually compose them, okay, we can right here rotate them, right, okay. So a lot of things that we can do. This is basic kind of animations kind of methods there. But you have to plan first what you want to move, what you want to animate. This kind of works for the beginners doesn't actually going to be succeed if you just do it for one day. You have to spend time, get to know your tools there, get to know your works there, okay? You have to speak with your works there. Okay, this is some of the terms that I actually learned, okay? But I thought, uh, but I never thought basically is a kind of weird or wacky kind of routine there, okay, as a designer or artist there. But we need to speak with our works there. It means that, okay, when you have complete your works here like this one, okay, you have to digest back again. You have to analyze that back again. What are the things that we can do more to improve? What I can do to make the motions move? What are the next steps that I should do before I'm going to work on it, if I'm to plan the layers and layout there, okay? That's why try to minimize lah, the uses of layers there. Right now, basically, I just not actually flatten some of the layers because I thought that I want to use them there, right? But if you guys manage them, you can manage them, okay? If you can finalize them, you just finalize them there, okay? Your layers there first there. Some of the layers that you don't use, you just delete them, for example. So you minimize your working areas here and make it more. And also, always, what we call that? This is background with effects there, right? Rename basically your layers, or you can use folder if you want to. This one is background also, but backgrounds or top there, right? Okay. Simple kind of name that you can understand that first, right? Okay. To develop basically, okay, this is basically some post there, maybe effects there, right? If you rename them, easy when you actually want to go through, right click, right, put into the layers there, right? Okay. And to go to background, basically, layers, right? This is basically the gradient there. Right click, then you can still go for it there, okay? So those are the, I think the process that actually manage your works, manage the works. You guys have that kind of what we call that understanding there, right? Okay. And other than that, okay, if you check look at what I missed, right? Okay. So the background I try to linear effects, light effects, okay, on top there, okay. But unfortunately, right, okay, they actually have cross over the images over here. What I can do from here, I can actually select them and do some selections to my, right, for example, my characters there, right? Okay, I can delete that. I delete, lock and delete that, see? So they were not going to be interrupt, basically, the characters itself there, right? But if I want to use them, go ahead there, okay, up to us there, okay, to there, okay? And I can also erase maybe some of the areas there that make the whole backgrounds cover the images there. Okay, what I can do, I can use erasers. I can erase some of the areas over here. I can use also some flow, just using those soft brushes. Then I can actually write this, erase some of the part that I find is not that important for me to show that. Okay, it can be there. But of course, photo retouchings, there's a lot of some tedious kind of works there, right? But if you enjoy the process, it's good for you. So this is what basically, right, when you make mistakes, most of the times when you actually develop the process of working there, right, you will learn a lot of new things. So you don't have to compare between other YouTubers, other kind of tutorials sometimes, but use it as a guide there. And you will find also your own way to work, because normally when I actually working with my kind of learning process experience with some of the tutorial that I saw, I'm not actually just follow director, okay? But what are the things that can connect it with the thing that I've done with the other tutorials? I will combine, I will manage, I will to improvise them, okay? As long as the main objective is I can get to that kind of areas or parts that I want to work with my code to present my works there, okay? So in order to develop our creativities, a little bit outside from the box there. The box that I've been writing, you cannot be too naive, too genuine there, okay? On learning there. But don't steal from other people's works. Right? Even though still kind of artist is more better than copy direct. Copy and direct and put into your works there, okay? Manage them back, okay? If I were you guys, okay, for example, like this one, okay, this Harry Potter there, right? If I want to meet our own kind of objective without copying other people's works or using the same kind of images, I can use my own face there. All right, I can use my own face there to what we call that, to manipulate this kind of scenes into my own thing directly. For example, like what I actually did before. because basically, if you take a look, okay, I use also to act for Harry Potter's there, right? Okay, basically, okay, where is it? Standing here, okay, let me refresh there, right? Okay, so, but this is not basically a part of the process of our learning. Is just to give you guys some ideas there, how basically the things work, right? Where is it? Cannot open there, right? This one there, see? All right. Okay. All right. Okay, something not good is happened to me at ATM. Oh, okay. Okay, check back again already. Make sure, okay. Okay, or something that you want to do there, okay? First, right. I also have this kind of trouble, right? Okay. My card basically have been ATM before there, okay? Okay, work on that. Okay, Zarani, all right? Take care of your things there first. Catch up with the lessons here. Okay, guys, okay. Those are the things there, okay? That we have to develop from here, okay? So for today, check. You guys have seen, okay, these videos here, how actually I did from scratch from one of your friends' works also. Hopefully, I actually thought I want to use one of the, but this one I actually did also some of the backgrounds there, right? Yeah, there's a few backgrounds here that I create there. Yeah, all right. This one basically the tactic is very quite direct and simple too, but only the skills that shows the difference there, right? That show basically the difference there, right? This is basically right, okay, my one of my daughter face this, right? Okay, I just playing around with it, right? This is her faces. Then into this one, right? I'm using what we call that. You can try if you want to, right? Because a part of things that we're going to use with the projects directly is actually, yeah, you want to be more creative. The character that you use basically for the scene, you can actually use your own face if you want to. All right. Then when I have this kind, I'm using liquify, and I transform into a grayscale colors, and I start to right use it as a reference here. But we can trace on top of it if you want to. I just right sketch first, study, and then basically I redraw there, right? Where is it? Then I draw back again, right? Using the brushes there. Okay? I draw them back. Okay. So one of the things that you can improve most of the illustration students is to, you want to improve your drawing skills, you can from the reference here, right? You draw them back. So this is the layers of the reference, and you use brush to draw. All right. So suddenly I can share with you guys there, right? Okay. If I can actually, because we still have time there, right? So the thing is, okay, let me show a bit lah, right? At least you guys have more information how actually I did this one there, right? It's all based on the skills there. We're relying on our hands there, okay? When people always taught there, okay, but I never use these new brushes there in Photoshop there, okay, for these subjects there, okay, for these reference there. Where is it? This is what? Charcoal box pencil heart. Okay. So the way basically I actually execute this kind of process by actually draw them back. Using just like I'm using pencils there. All right. This is the new brushes that I actually use. I'm normally use all media wet fill brushes, the standard brushes for Photoshop below CC or CS already. Those are the one of the standard brushes there. So normally when we want to draw, this is one of the process that you guys can actually, especially for those who say he cannot draw well. All right, draw one stroke at a time there, right? Okay, and if you use tablet, for example, if you use tablets, always basically uh, check whether you have the pressure point or not, because this is one of the lessons that I for the student who cannot draw well, but you guys can learn to draw on top of it, but we are not actually tracing them, right? Remember that, okay? We draw on top of it there, okay? Because this method will help you to basically learn back again how people can code in the right way, but with the help of the tools, with the digital tools there, because it's hard for you to learn, all right, the drawing, all right, okay? And you need a few number kind of exercise there first before you can actually execute really well. If you take a look, okay, I draw one step at a time. A lot of people just draw something like this. They trace. This is a tracing that we call, but this is drawing there. You draw one stroke at a time. You try to create a smooth and confident kind of line and strokes during the process of your drawing here. You're not actually trace, or this is tracing, but this is drawing there. Remember the right drawing there, right? So don't actually get confused, right? Okay? A lot of people always, a lot of laymen there, okay? When they actually ask people to draw in digital, right, they thought, oh, everything has can be copy and paste only there, okay? Just like using apps. So I always test this kind of people, like, okay, I try to draw them back. Can you actually trace them? The results are not going to be the same. That's when actually they saw it's quite hard there, okay? Even though I have also experienced some of my what we call that closest kind of people that I know there, okay? When they saw how actually we did this kind of drawings, they thought it's quite easy there. But it look easy into your eyes, like in other people's eyes there. But try to experience them first, get the flow, get the strokes right, get the what we call that the pressures right first, before basically you going to assume the right, okay, whether digital illustrations is just like only copy paste only there, okay? Because this is basically only one of the methods that can make designers works a little bit more easy there, okay? For designers there, right? Okay, not only artists there, designers there. Check look here. So the result's going to be look more like a drawing there, right? Using the technologies that we have, like drawing pen, tablet, Procreate, for example, if you use tablet there, right? Okay? If you use those iPad, right? Same there, right? That's what I say. These kind of methods can be teach, can be taught, can be learned, but you need to find the right methods there to add more values on your works. Then color kind of style combinations is another kind of levels that you guys can learn, but you can use selections just like I show you guys before in those previous works there, right? And use brush strokes that works there, but you can use flat color okay, in Photoshop at the same time that you can actually use them, right? Okay? It's a matter of using only a tools there, right? Okay, but using layers, right? Okay? Using layers that works. Let's just say that yeah, you want to animate these characters over here. So this one I can actually delete that first because I already copied the images there, right? So I can actually minimize some of the things that I don't want to use. I believe this is a shadow. Okay, some shadows there. Okay, just place them back. So I have to be careful when I want to delete some of the layers. I do admit, okay, sometimes when I actually do my own works without this is the backgrounds, the first sky backgrounds. Okay. From here, I kind of working more like, what is this there? There's nothing there. We can delete that, right? So there, right? Okay. Flying kind of birds. Okay. So what is this? Is there anything there? If no, we can delete them, right? Right. This is the city, okay, from the background there, right? These images of the city, okay, also I actually redraw them back, right? Okay, but you guys can use imaginations, but if your imaginations, for me, simple, right? Okay? If you thought that your imagination is sucks, there, right? Doesn't work for you, you can actually get a very good tune, fine kind of presentations there. Just get reference, draw them back, trace them back, and manipulate and adjust them, right? Okay. So show the depth of field. This is basically the clouds. Okay. Right. Some glowing kind of clouds, I believe there. Oh, some. I'm using a soft kind of what we call that. Blur kind of effects there. There. Okay. So this is basically some textures there. I manipulate the textures. Some shadows there, right? I just create my what we call that building kind of shadows there. Okay? Even though there is no buildings there, but I just create them some illusion from there. So I think this particular kind of layers, I can actually group them, merge the layers there. These are going to be the ground for it. Okay? I don't use these clouds anymore. Okay. So what else there? This is some of the detailing basically, right? Okay? So for the buildings, more texturings, right? To get a very good results, basically, we have to, manage the layers, right? So group them back to the ground, rename them. I try to minimize the active first. What is this? I don't think that I use this one there, right? So let me close this one. So this is the characters there. Okay, the shadows. Okay, there. So this is basically one of the detailing there. Okay, using outline there, right? That I use. Okay, to the characters itself there. Right? So I can actually combine them together. If you want, I don't know whether it's a part of our what we call that lessons to work in detail in photo to create these characters, but I think it's a part of the comics kind of requirement also there, right? So that's why I show you guys this kind of what we call that. What is this? Which basically I have combined, or maybe I. Oh, I combine it together here. So this one, let me check back again. This one I can delete, all right? Because maybe because okay, do some selections back again. Copy paste. This one I can delete because I don't want to use that. All right, the background with certain kind of effects that not actually suitable there for me. All right, so I might going to be join them first. Merge the link there, right? Where is it? Right, merge them first. Right, organize them, okay, because this one I did basically previously, okay, for the students there. I didn't manage a bit kind of folders there, okay. Done. I can even also delete the sign there, right? Okay, my signatures over here. It's not that important here. But of course, okay, from your illustration that you did before, I actually have shown you guys, we can reuse them. What is this? Oh, so I believe I'm not using that one. So I'm going to delete right this part there. So we have buildings, okay, city, bird, clouds, um, yeah, shadows there. So what basically we want to animate are those are the things we need basically to plan at this stage. So one of it is, okay, open back on your timeline, create video timeline. All the layers were there. So the most simplest way, basically the moments of the things that you want to create, the motions there, right? Around 5 seconds, for example, here. If I actually put the characters right here, all right, in frame number 2, what we can do there, right? I can actually okay, click to the positions. This is the not the first positions, right? The first position, maybe the characters are going to be jump over here. For example, like this one there, right? Okay. Hop there. Even though it's quite stiff there, right? Okay, but it's kind of motions there. You can actually play simple kind of motions there. And from here, I can actually write, create another kind of oops. I want, okay, I just want to stretch, push a little bit there, okay? We animate them. I forget the right. Okay, first. And to inverted X there up. So if I'm going to this one back again, I try to basically squash a little bit, but it doesn't work there. Confirm came from here there, right? Duplicate the layers. Maybe you can. So I'm using the same. Just want to delete that first. Bit there. It doesn't work there, right? So I just blend back again, okay, the motions here without having the styles there first. There, right? Move will be here. And then what else there? The shadow should be use the opacity there, right? So opacity from here should be adjusted, right? See? Yeah. Simple kind of motions there, right? Logically, we have to be happy to say, boom, right? What's the danger? So what else there we can do? The clouds. Right, close this one. Don't forget to save your files there. All right, the clouds there, right? We can move around the clouds there, right? Move slowly. All right, the clouds there. Yeah, we can move slowly there, right? The clouds there, right? Yeah. Oh, right. So we can zoom in and zoom in there, right, at the clouds, like pan and zoom. From here, with the pen. Right. So I want to make it more slower kind of movements and so a little bit. So we can stretch the writing there. See, to make more dramatic the writing. Because in real life, hardly we can actually move the clouds, okay, faster, okay, but the visually in the illusions kind of illustrations we can, right? The buildings also the same thing, right? You can actually use pan the cameras there, right? Then, oh, it's too much there. Oh, sorry there, right? I'll lock this one first. Right, lock the clouds there. CT there, right? Transform. From, from this stage, too much there, I get the size there. So what I can do, I can delete this first. Then I can transform that into the same position that just now, right? Like this one. The position also has to be right. Check back again. And then I can scale. Change the size. There. The movement, right? So they give different kind of impact, right? What else that we can do? I want to try different things there. But before that, All right, the bird's positions. Oops, that's right. Yeah, see, the bird's there, right? I want to try something different there. I want to play some effects, but not manually, but hopefully can be managed using from these frames to these frames. I want to play some, whether we can play with some effects or not. You save the file surface, take the animations. Oops, take the animations there. Right, simple kind of movements only there, right? Okay, so there's a, we can actually play some lighting, some sound acting. Yeah, right. So if I can actually play with some of the effects from here, okay, the style, focus, blur effect, motion blur, which is motion blur from top to bottom there, right? Can you use them? Boom, boom over here, and then I change back again. If this one can be used, oops, no, can't there, right? But what I can do, okay, if I duplicate the layers, rename, window, view, timeline, media groups, all media. Okay, let's just say I play with this kind of methods there, right? You see, I'm using filter just now for these layers, motion blur, boom, boom, see? We can actually get it, right? See, the things that I want to do. Yeah, right, the speed of effects there, right? Right, okay? There's a thing that we can do from there. From here, what we can do, okay, of course, in real animations, you have to move all some of the part that you want to, okay? There are going to be a number kind of layers that you're going to play from there. All right, but right now I duplicate the layers there, okay? The top layers, basically the main layers. The first layers I using some effects. Okay, that's the thing that I've done there, right? There. So the other thing that I can do from here, this is video groups for what, huh? For this part there. Can I play more effects from here? Let me check there, right? Style opacities. Just want to do it now, right? Delete my page. Yeah, there. Positions over here. Can I play with more effects here? I want to play with effects directly, and hopefully the effects can be worked here. What happens here? Can we play more? Doesn't work there, right? Because I hopefully they can use also like After Effects kind of mode there, right? Okay, but to work with it. Maybe there's some limitations there. So check back again. Yeah, all right. The simple cut of motions there, right? But of course, all these kind of efforts what came from the illustration itself there, right? If you get your illustrations ready, you can do all these kind of simple animations there. Okay, those are the things there, right? And go for export into your, right, before that, maybe I can add another layers over here. Let's just say those layers that I'm going to use, right? Some gradients. Right on top of it. I can use gradient tool because the timeline play is not over the target layers there. Oh, okay. I understand that, right? Put it there. But let's just see some gradients effects. Okay. Multiply. Right. I can use also hot light. I don't know. Right. Change. So I love to play with this all these experimental kind of layers there, okay, with the gradients there, to give a little bit kind of ambient feelings there, okay, for the works there, okay, for the visual itself there, right? There. Oops. It's fine. Maybe I don't change that. So maybe I can actually use 0 correctly. There. So when the characters appears, okay, we change the colors there, right? Okay. It can be. And of course, okay, there would be better if there is a sound effects, but we don't put that. Let me change there. I'm changing based on the speed itself directly because based on the frame, because I want to make a very quick kind of what we call that changes, right, to make the audience hopefully doesn't feel bored about the presentations there. So check a look how it works there. Right? Yeah. Very simple kind of presentation from there. from the visual itself, right? So from here, export to save to web legacy. Right, waiting to optimize the whole scene. Right, when we actually use a lot of layers, effects directly, I think because of my kind of space from these computers also have been reduced directly because of a lot of load of videos there that I actually have download. I actually have download and upload okay to the YouTube, but I haven't deleted most of the videos directly. So the computer is running a little bit more slower there. And if I'm not mistaken, this resolution for these visuals, I think around 150 to 250 DPI resolutions there, right? Right, so far, any questions there, guys? Okay, what is it there, right? So when she say ATM, she mean that at the moment, okay, okay. I thought the ATM kind of machines there. I have that kind of issues, okay, a few months there, right? The ATM, not at the moment there. A lot of shortcut terms there, okay, you guys using nowadays there. Okay, any questions there, guys? Okay, for the simple animations, but of course, the visual has to come first there, right? All the time there. Save the files, right? Not image, HTML only, maybe. Images, default setting, GIF, um, selections, diffusion, GIF. Any question there, guys, at the moment? Any inquiries? Or we might go to your assignments over here. What you guys have been working on. Oh, this is from Informators Direct. What actually Kimberly has have been done, right? Okay, let me check. Okay. Anyone have done the animations? This one, right, can be play with some of the simple kind of effects, right, of the flowers there. This one came from where? Prince of Persia? No. Anyone have inquiries on moving the object first? Okay, from your illustrations, or you didn't have any ideas there how to work with it. But I think both of two demonstrations that I did last week is quite detailed there, all right? Which is quite slow there, right? Let me check that. For 10.4 megabyte only there. So that means most of the videos that I have been created for the student has to be released there, right? I think most of the video that I create have been download and upload back again. So I can delete all these videos that first. Okay. So let me check whether I actually can work or not. Right. This one, right? Looking forever there first. Save. 102 megabyte there, right? Please, done. Maybe because the size that I use is quite big, the resolution also quite big there, right? Guys, any inquiries there, guys, on the lessons here? Unless anyone wants to say something, yeah, say something there, guys. I did animation before, sir, but only a little movements. Latifa, there, right? Where is it? Let me check. Teams. Let me see. Okay, you have to try first. Okay, make mistakes is okay, but planning the layers first. Okay, Latifa here, there, right? Okay, see. Can we check here? Did you submit the works there, Latifa? All right, remember, okay, check look back again, the landscapes, the layout, the compositions there, the perspective. It doesn't look right there, Latifa, right here. And of course, the layers of the tree have been covered by the rivers there, right? Okay, the river looks like it's on top of the all layers there, right? Okay, so be careful with the details here. All right. And the other thing, I think the rivers from here are going to be a little bit more smaller, right? So those are basically the logic that runs from the compositions. See how mess basically my desktop where I have to clean up the desktop also. Oh, this is the one. Let me check, open, click, then I explore this. Oh yeah, this is the one there. Okay. So I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different layers to move around the characters there, right? Okay. 8, 5, and 6, and also the shadows. Right, it can be done there right from there. So first of all, yes, focus more on your presentation, on illustrations. Then you can play with the motions there, right? What are these things? Nothing. All right. Those are basically the important things that you have to understand. First, preparing your illustrations, what basically you want to visualize, to animate them first, okay? Then you can animate them there, right? So I try to delete all the files there. But as remember, most of the videos that I create were there. Check back again my files there, right? 150 is only image around 5.66 megabyte. Not that big. Sure. And the size, yes, 8 by 11 inch. Current size is not that big there, right? Maybe because when you transfer into GIF, they become a bit more bigger, right? Huh? Okay. About the Latifa kind of works there, okay? Compositions there. Let me actually write, just give a bit more kind of clear understanding there, okay? Let's just say this is your gradient, right? So this is basically your ground, copy paste, right? Put it over there, all right? So the rivers normally, Latifa, are going to be like this one there, right? This is a bit more depth, right? Okay, you can show more depth on the presentations there. Even though you have the reference, right? Okay, check back again your reference whether it's right or not, but this is the logic, right? Okay. Then you can copy and paste. That's the river, right? Although the river is not like a Justin Bieber kind of song, all right? So when you talk about basically the, what you call that, some of the trees, the right, for example, like this one there, right? Copy, paste, and then level, change, okay? See, right? So this one should be on top, all right? On top of it, okay? Remember that. Flip, sorry there, right? Edit, transform, flip horizontal there. Okay, using Photoshop also we can actually achieve that. Doesn't mean that you use AI, you can actually achieve the same kind of results there, right? From here, right? Yeah, I can actually using different kind of layers there just to show some depth from there. Right, this one cover into the different layers. I can actually change that. See, it can be right there, right? Mountain itself, as I actually have shown you guys before. Let's just say you want to draw the mountains that cover these areas there, right? Copy paste. Either you can use multiply if you want to, but you also can use adjust color combination, brightness and contrast there, right? See the clouds. So your illustration, yes, that's why I say, okay, if you can actually, most of your works, okay, if I'm going to assume all the things that you guys been working on can be worked in where is it? Oh, it's not this one there, right? Where is it, my selection just now? Ah, oops. Sorry there, right? Sometimes if you want to speed up your works there, okay, like this, I'm working with a highlight there. Using overlay, I have the clouds there, okay. Without overlay, we use soft light. You can use this one a bit more burn there, okay. Screen. You can actually use show the different kind of effects, okay. By using only the same methods there, okay. It's about the reverb back again. there's a lot of things we can do from here directly. Like we can actually draw some flows of water directly, ships of flowing water directly, using shadows directly. Doesn't look like that. What I'm going to do, right? I'm going to draw the shapes over here like this, okay? Just like a water shapes directly, illusion stuff there. Because in illustrators, basically we work with that kind of illusions there. We play with a lot of illusions there, right? Okay? They make believe there, right? But this is only simple kind of methods that I can show first. Right, I can actually write, I use soft light, okay, right, to show the river kind of flows there. Or you can also use brush, other than use that line, right? You can use this kind of methods there, right, to show the rivers kind of flows there, waters there, right? Right. This kind of methods, you have to watch a lot of. I think you guys have watched a lot of anime than me, right? So what you can do, copy paste, screen there, see, river flows there, right? And you can add more and more details there, okay? Some like this one, selections. You can draw a little bit kind of detailing like shadows line, okay, like that. Okay, some detailing there right here using those. Click shift and do more selections there, right? Okay. Adding some detailings basically need a little bit kind of passionate there, okay? And also try to observe a bit more on other people's works, copy paste, for example, like this. I'm using overlay, it's not that doesn't look good. If I use multiply a bit, have the changes there, right? Okay, it's a bit blending, lah, right? But I can also go to adjust levels. I can adjust a bit more if I want to, right? Okay, to give it more kind of contrast there. Okay? Even though the rivers also, we can actually add some shadows if we want to, right? So those are the things there. Okay, Latifah there, okay, take a look there, okay. I'm not actually trying to brag or show off there, okay, but I try to give a bit kind of enlightenment on the works directly, how actually you can execute them. This is the one. I can actually add more. I can actually write, put more detailing here. Then I can actually go to level. Okay, give a little bit more kind of depth there. Right. By using, sorry, there, right. Flip horizontals there, right, to give a bit more depth. See? So from what you have been working on, okay, you guys can see from what I've shown, it can be done a few minutes there if you practice and practice it, right? You don't have to take 2 weeks, 1 week to complete the right. And from that 1 week, you can do more than one. You can do, I think you can actually, if you practice a bit more, enjoying more the process, you can do more than, I think 10. Like what I actually have experienced, to be good at what we do, okay, especially in visualizing things that was other than animations there, right? The key to succeed is to do more, to practice more, to enjoy more. First of all, you have to enjoy the right. Then you can get a lot of kind of what we call that experience there. And the mistake that you have done and you develop back again, all this kind of methods there. Photoshop, AIs, basically the same. It's only the tools there. The main objective is right now what basically you want to achieve from that kind of particular exercise there, and how actually you're going to execute them, what type of visual that you want to visualize them, right? So those are the things that really important at this stage there, right? Okay. So check back again there, okay. If you use artificial reference, make sure you check back again what makes these visuals something a bit more weird. Okay, I think what I actually show, the perspective, the positions, the distance, the sizing of the rivers, some of the detailing, a bit more you can actually apply. You can actually add a bit kind of foregrounds over here to give more depth there, okay? Even though you actually copy the same visuals if you want to. A lot of things we can done from here, right? Okay? You can add also some of the, from the rivers, there's some boat maybe, some raft, right? Some stone, right? Rocks of stone there, okay? For example, like this one there, okay? Like if I want to add a bit more and more and more details, I can there, okay? I can actually write. Uh, we can. That's why we have to speak to our our own creations there, right? We have to speak. We have to discuss. We have to analyze. Okay, from here. Okay, alternate backspace. Stones there, okay? From the rivers. I can also develop some rocks over here, but a bit more lighter maybe. Yeah, even though it looks almost the same. So I can add more and more and more detail there if I want to, right? So from these landscapes, if I want to make the character, the things look more alive, maybe I can draw, right? There's a bear, for example, over here. Okay, right. Okay, there's a few number kind of maybe there's a cup over here, right? To give a little bit kind of the visual have more alive directly. There's a living things inside here. But don't just copy or draw directly like me directly. Maybe my kind of position of characters is not that quite accurate there. So go find some pictures there. Trace back again to silhouette and put it into your compositions. So if you have some living things in your compositions, they will look more alive there. They're more lively there, right? Okay? On your presentations there. Right. You can put some trees over here, small trees there. Maybe. Right. So be creative to develop and improvise from the images there. Don't just direct copying there, okay? Your images and then you don't know how to adding something. Adding some details sometimes it takes try and error at the same times. But when you make mistakes, you always know the phrase there, okay? You don't actually grow yourself, you don't make mistakes there. A lot of people always afraid to make mistakes and they're keen and then actually assume that whatever that they do, they can be perfectly been done without having enough mistakes there. Life, people grow from that mistakes. People grows from there. Right? Talk about any millionaire, any kind of successful people, the same thing. You cannot grow if you don't make mistakes. You cannot assume everything going to be perfect. This is not a fairy tale. Right? This is not basically a movie. Movie nowadays also can actually have show basically the main characters have the obstacle. Hey, if you watch anime very much, a lot, right? All the heroes characters goes with a lot of challenges, obstacle before they succeed there. If you take look back again from there, from the other side of the story that you can actually use it in your life. I always been influenced with all this movie stuff that okay in my life that helped me to grow, right? As a 70s kid, I grew up in 80s. I always grow and use most of the American movie at the times. to develop my kind of personal kind of personalities there, okay? And grows from there mentally also at the same times, right? Well, those are the things that I found there, okay? Movies, animations really influenced my life there, okay? Until today, there, okay? Movies there, okay? Motivations kind of videos there, right? So those are the things, right? It's just like I felt sometimes I live in my own movies there, okay? So that's how actually we motivate ourselves there, okay? So don't just because I when I actually what we call that listen to your conversation, your discussions with our lecturing cluster, okay? I would say that you guys have that kind of a lot of good information and influence on that kind of movie. Most of the movies that better than mine. But did you actually use them to influence on your works? That's basically the main objective of why Miss Anis actually have planned all the projects to you guys there. Because it's not only just to develop the visuals, learn the tools, but you don't use them as a part of your life. Okay? That's why sometimes people don't get it right because you don't drive yourself from there. All right? You don't drive yourself to make it happen. Just like you watch that kind of anime movies there. You saw One Piece there, okay? For example, I didn't watch them like I used to watch most some of the movies that I actually have series that I can complete, right? The a few series that I actually complete like Kenshin, Samurai X, I've been follow also. I love that kind of stories there. Samurai Champloo is one of the movies also that I watch okay entirely there okay the series lah okay most of the series but I didn't actually follow a lot there okay but that kind of okay because more normally I watch anime because I want to do some research only right but I follow a few numbers of them right okay but not actually quite hardcore there okay but I actually have a lot of like Gurren Lagann there okay one of my favorite also there okay struggle of the main characters there those are one of the things that I actually watch lah right okay not only because of the design terms but the storyline okay but mm, nowadays there's a lot of anime manga kind of that I can't follow okay but one of my cousins there okay who actually study also cinematographies in the MMU he actually watch a lot than me there okay because they have to study all these kind of film studies on that so it's good there okay like you guys theoreticals I don't doubt that but visually you have to practice along the way okay that's how actually I've seen how actually you develop right because our kind of hmm, because our kind of what we call that your kind of exposures that you have nowadays is quite easy to pick up there right like me I have to struggle like at the times there what we call it we cannot download the movies there right okay we have to buy most of the movie right okay we sharing basically our anime finding among our friends there right okay but you guys everything is in your hands everything is in your hand there right so that's why get used to it guys I think I always enjoy visualizing develop the visuals okay even though nowadays my time is a little bit limited there okay to exploring there but I still enjoying there right? I'm still enjoying there okay but I have to do it because of the works right because of the works there right the point is right now I'm working because of the works there right okay so the main objective is right now sharing the sessions for the students and to develop my work but I normally a few there certain kind of times I try to what we call that I try to take advantage on the time that I have with the students to create also my own personal works right? Just like animation classes, lah, okay, because I find some of the things that quite potential to share and also develop at the same times, I will do it frequently there. Okay? I will do it right, okay? At that kind of stage there, okay? Because there's no point if I don't actually sharing also with my students. At the same time, I'm working also on my own there, okay? Because the work is not only for the assignments there. We're doing the work for our what we call that careers there. We build up those careers from there. Okay, so that's why I kind of like take advantage on my time with my students to share the works and to develop the work at the center. Even though most of the students always think, oh, this is thing for the lessons. Yes, of course for the lesson, but the lessons that I can bring also outside there. I can also bring also to the real kind of works there, right? Those are the things is very it's quite blessing and quite good okay, for us to develop ourselves from there. They always think that we can actually take advantage in the right way, in the right manner, right? Okay? Not like taking other people's work there, okay? Remember that. Because I've seen and also Miss Anis also have been share with me some of the works that from the student. I don't know about you guys or your group or the other groups, okay, who actually did this kind of what we call that this kind of activities there. Okay, please don't do that, guys. Okay, yeah, I actually record the sessions. I already explained to you guys, inform you guys. Please don't do that. Okay, but like Naim said just now, right, okay, I did it in only a few minutes. Right, okay, Omar there, okay, because the practice there, because the practice, okay, it's only a tools there, guys. It's only a tools, right? Maybe next week I don't know, right? Okay, because whatever lessons that I actually demonstrate to you guys were basically from discussion with Miss Anis. But maybe I don't know if uh, I can actually right okay, spare times right to show you guys back again how actually I did from scratch based on the caricature kind of caricatures kind of drawings here. I would do it right. Okay? I will actually share. Right. It takes quite some time, but the demonstration that I did basically based on the same sessions, around 2 hours, 3 hours there, okay? I think I do these demonstrations around less than that maybe there, okay? But the key point is the drawing there, the line drawing. Just like I showed just now there, okay? Those are the first thing that you can practice there, right? I already shared you guys also the way that my kind of routine of practice back in the days when I and interested on that kind of particular kind of skills or methods that I learned either from my lectures, from my tutors, or from my own finding, I will do more exercise from there. I have also one of the visuals that I did for my students demonstrations based on the same exercise here there, right? That I want to show maybe later for other groups there, right? Mm, if I'm not mistaken, here right here. Where is it? This one introduction to illustrations there, right? Digital illustrations here. Right, this is the one. Where is it? The visuals there. I think from okay, this is the one there, right? Week 5. Since I'm right, this is one also that okay, the demonstration that I did. Okay, based on the pictures that we draw and we convert our photo from this boy there. Okay, this is my boy. Okay, so I using them right okay, back again. Okay, the methods using soft brushes. I'm using soft brushes and layers there and layers there. Whether I have the same layers. It's not one. Okay, this is one of the demonstration from one of the students' works, right? Using soft layers there. But the point is right now, the line drawing has to be fine first before we're going to add a bit kind of details. All right. I don't know whether I still having this one. Okay, this is the images for you Yeah, we have that right. Shadows. Okay, check back again. This is a drawing there. With a drawing here, right? So the layers that I see. There's few number kind of layers that I actually use to work with it, right? So soft layers, soft brush, adjust the opacity at the same times, and then I'm cover with the drawing strokes there, right? Okay, the drawing stroke that make the drawings or the whole presentations look fine, right? Sometimes the visual, the coloring methods is very simple methods there. We just use the reference that we have to guide us. Okay, where is it there? This one there, right? And just we just follows them back again, all right? We follows them back again there, right? Okay? Slowly, softly, selections, backlight colors there, right? Okay? That's all there, right? All right? Maybe next week there, okay? Hopefully next week's I can actually focus on that, right? How actually I managed to draw the visual in Photoshop there, right? Because I think you have to know. I believe that you have to know that, right? Okay? It's important also to know how to visualize them using your drawing methods in illustrations. Otherwise, right, if you just actually working with only some related tools, right, designing characters without having the right kind of methods to draw, it will be quite hard, right? It will be quite not complete for me, right? From my kind of experience there. So those are one things, okay. But you also can actually go into my boring YouTube channels as usual. Things that are okay from videos, right? Okay, from my channels, okay, there's kind of lessons I draw in digitals, okay, starting from beginning there, okay, to learn about the process of drawing in Photoshops. I know the sessions is not that, it's very rough and raw, not edited there, okay, not edited there, right? But the methods that I show, you can skip some of the things that you find boring, but you can see how actually I execute them and draw some of the characters. I know it's quite, sometimes some people say it's quite advanced. For me, I try to go into more into deep there, okay? But the point is right now you have to learn also to develop from there. And of course, if you have watched them, if you don't understand, if you think that you want to make, if you want to ask me for different kind of sessions of consultations, you can share basically your screen. You can do it as well. I would love to help, Larry. I would love to help there, right? But it's all up to you guys. Your call directly. I don't want to make the sessions like formal like this because this one basically I've been actually been scheduled already. But the sessions that if you find, let's just say like I don't know about because nowadays in weekend like Saturday normally I have a class 6 hours but I don't have because we just have the semester break there, right? If you want to say you want to have some consultation, you want to share your screen, how actually you create your works, is it right or not when you draw? Yeah, you can actually write. Because the important thing is how actually you draw first. Basically, you draw, how you actually you develop the kind of drawing sections, you develop strokes, right? Okay, all these kind of things is really important there to see how actually the things works there, right? I believe that some of us guess the drawings manually, right? Okay, but this one I have some poor connection. I don't know about this. All right. Okay. Okay. So good. It's a good nod, right? The right. Right. Luckily, we have that right. Right. There's a few kind of lagging just now, but I think okay right now. They're right. So, guys, any questions there? Hopefully, if you don't have, all right. All right. I would love, all right, to see more progress over here, right? And I'm working on what? Okay. So the connection's okay right now. All right. So hopefully you guys can actually get more and more kind of mm, informations there visually, okay, on what you can actually get ahead from there, right? Okay. Those are the things that I actually find from your submissions there. But I actually do check, okay. Some of you guys also did a very good kind of works in Instagram, right? I saw that, right? Hmm. It's a very good kind of activities that you have there. Okay, you use your Instagram, right, to showcase your works. Okay, I've seen there. Okay, like this ladies here, right? Okay, a very good kind of examples there, right? So hopefully we can actually get more from you guys there, right? So in order to develop any kind of projections on your work based on our projects, okay, if you guys actually have done, all right, some of the works like this, or any kind of work that you find quite comfortable that you can actually connect it with our projects, go ahead, right? Those are the things, right? Okay. So some of you guys, as you know, don't be shy, okay, to expand, to share basically your works there, right? Okay. This one actually she did by herself, there, right? Who is it? Are you from this group? Right? Some of the all right, huh? All right. So good, all right. So study other people's characters also good directly in order to develop your own kind of identity later on, right? So it's a good kind of progress there. Oh, I didn't share the screen. Sorry there, guys. That's why they're right. Let me share the screen here. Yeah, this one they're right. Okay, who is it? Izay, they're right. All right. So she has also some webtoon, right? So it's very good kind of activities there, right? And earliest kind of exposures there, right? Okay. This is one of the good example from your friend, right? That have a lot of interest and efforts that in the early stage. And I think there's a lot of good potentials over here. Keep on doing that, girl. Right, okay. You can see that, right? Mm, okay. Yeah, Omar, right. Thank you very much there, right? So now you can see there, guys, right? Mm, a very good kind of what we call it progressions there. right? Exposures there, right? So guys, okay, take a look here, right? Okay, very good kind of what we call that exposures that she has, the early stage there. I think she has done these things, okay, in the early days, right? Since when? You can see the progress there, 2019, right? Okay, so this is one of the good kind of positive examples on what you can also, each of you guys, even if you're not in creative directly, showcase your works, your progress, okay? Even though you have a low kind of progress, a very poor kind of progress, it's okay. People want to see your improvements, right? She's drawing from 2018, I think, from early stage there, right? These are good, right?
Sir, what are you doing?
Who is it?
It's me, sir. Sorry. It's me, sir.
Okay. Hey,
Why?
the reason why you showcase basically, right? Okay, because you want a lot of people to see there, right? Hey, I actually have shared also some of the bad drawings of mine before this, right? Some of the early stage of my works there, right? Okay, that I've done before. So don't worry there, okay? People love to see the progress. Always see the progress there, right? Some of my bad drawings and the early days. Also, I share that, right? Huh? So there's no basically some, right? I'm also doesn't talk a lot there, okay, at the time. Okay, this is not my drawings, this is one of the student drawing. Right. Some of the drawing in early days, my sketches also I actually have showcased there, okay? Some of my sketches, drawings there. All right. So it's good to share, okay? Have some sharing moment, right? Okay. From your works, some of the studies there, right? Okay. Some sketches, studies of my works there, right? So all this kind of number kind of experience, okay? This is one of my early days of drawings there. This is from my 18 or 17 years old there, right? Okay, when I was actually right in IT kind of short courses there, right? See, all these kind of bad drawings that I have, right? So I'm good with it there, right? Okay, because when you actually have all these kind of uh, I think also some of my studies there, okay? Remember what I said there, okay? When I actually write at and the first years, my pre-diploma there, okay? When I actually learn and get the hands of the art education there, okay? I studied comic back again, even though I love comic, but I never draw this kind of what we call that comic kind of character before. I spent most of my time there, okay? This is my first comic character that I create at the times. I use poster colors. I've learned to use the clear spray to cover the whole artworks there, okay? At the times, I would rather to sit, okay, from 12 midnight until 3 o'clock in the morning to practice and practice directly. And my study days in my early days there. Those are the things that we've done a lot directly. Most of people actually want to develop themselves directly. So some of the line works that this is the thing that I actually draw from the comic that I copy them back, I draw them back, right? But the reason why I draw because I want to study. Basically, this one I'm using pencil and draw them back there, okay? I use a lot of erasers at the time there. I didn't complete the task because I feel bored because I want to do another things there. Because there's a lot of things in my mind at the times that I want to improve and develop there, okay? Because like you guys also there, okay? I face a lot of challenges. I face also a lot of obstacles, competitions there among friends, okay? In a good way that I actually have to overcome there, right? Right. This is some of my demonstrations that I did drawing classes there, right? Okay. Basically, I did this kind of way because I feel a bit kind of pissed off with some of the students, right, who doesn't actually understand the methods of working. Okay, they always thought about the restrictions there. Okay, so I draw on the floor just to give more kind of enhancements, right? Okay, that we can draw in any kind of surface there. You don't have sketchbooks. You want to study a little bit more. You can study on the floor. That can draw on the floor. It's quite excitement. It's quite enjoying the process. This is some of the demonstration that I did with one of the students that she actually have been married, have one kid, and also learn and further study in Malaysia Institute of Art. Okay, this is my demonstration that I did for I think a few minutes. Okay, to show her basically the proportions, how to draw the using charcoals like at the time there. Okay, and to give more enlightenment on that. Okay, but she's managed to learn. Okay, maybe at that time she isn't satisfied with what she has, okay, with the college that she has. So she dropped out and learned to further her studies in more focus on the fine arts there, right? Okay, at that time. So she managed to work on that lah. Like it's a good thing lah, right? Okay, because suddenly she admit that, right? Okay, because I challenged her there, okay, okay, I will draw some things in few minutes, but with the right proportions, with the right kind of methods, can you do the same thing there, okay? Because sometimes, okay, human have their own kind of belief and ego directly because she thought that she can do it well, she do it right, but she's not there, okay, because we have to train our eyes there to see some of the mistakes that we've done from our drawings there. So those are the things that I've done, okay, in a short time there, okay. I really enjoyed, okay, some of the challenges, some of the adrenaline rush there, okay, between the methods of learning and process of working there, okay, but it will improve us a lot from there, right? So those are this is some of so my demonstration, my dry media subjects, right? Right, that I've actually done. Okay, I'm not actually coming from only digital medias there. The reason why I show you guys here because it's important for you guys to draw and train yourself not only in digital medias there. Even though you're from other courses there, if you have your sketchbooks with you, you just draw whatever that you want, practice all the time there, right? Okay, enjoying yourself there. Those are the things there, right? Right, enjoying yourself to develop that. I just finished crying. Why? Why do you do this, right? I'm not going to cry anymore. Zarani, all right, right. What happens there?
Sorry, I got like, what
Ah,
did you expose? Somebody messaged me and they're like, dude, he's exposing you. And they're like, oh, I have to come back on, you know? So
oh, what
why
has
you
it?
do this to me?
It's a good kind of exposures there, right? I have to promote someone there from your groups, right? To make some example, a good examples there. Because if I just show mine, it's just like I feel like I'm just want to show myself only, okay, to promote myself, okay. But if I have someone from your group as a good examples, is a good examples there, not a bad examples, huh? That
But
means
I'm a bad example.
no, not a bad example. Don't be too low down and right. It's good to be low profile, okay, down to earth, okay. But good thing has to be shared, all right. Good thing has to be shared, right? Take it as about a positive, okay. Hey, I'm also used to be introvert, and this stage also sometimes I'm quite a bit shy to other people's there, to some other people's there. But it doesn't mean that we have to be at that kind of stage of level all the time there, right? Because in the good way, basically, hopefully, from this sharing, you can give more positive vibe for your friends to give more kind of what we call that influence there. All right, some sort of like bring up a little bit more spirit there. Okay, Zarani, I would love to see you actually, okay, face to face in the futures, hopefully, right? In the futures, that talk, chat about all these kind of works, right? Okay, maybe there, okay, hopefully, there, okay. If not, it's okay, right? But I love, right, okay, to see more student kind of works, right? I hopefully also can because from my animation classes, I have one student also who not from creative what we call that courses, but he has also a very quite structured kind of way of working there. I really, really love to see his work there, okay? Because quite neat, quite clean, quite organized there, better than my kind of way to arrange my works there. Okay? Those are the things. But of course, there are a lot of things that we can learn from there, right? Okay? He also can learn a lot from there. But he's using a very good kind of approach on how his works there. Same goes to you, all right? Yeah, I think that a concern very important before sharing something. Okay, yeah, sorry, okay. If you think that is offended you, I'm sorry there, okay. But I just felt that good thing can be shared. Otherwise, you don't put it everything right here, right in our Instagram there, right? Okay. If you think right, okay, the short, okay, okay, good, good, right, the short. Because I believe that okay, good things there. Winnie, Michelle, don't think in the wrong way there, okay. Good thing has to be shared, right? Either the person has to be promote or someone else have to be the marketing side of them there, right? Okay. Don't be don't be thought that it's a negative side there, right? Okay. Okay, Michelle. It's the good things about it, not the bad things there that I want to share. But the works has to be shared. Otherwise, you put everything inside your room and no one to share. And later on, most of the artists are become a little bit kind of depressions there. One of the things that make people depression because they thought they have shared the works to the audience, but the things that they find out basically, right, okay, the work doesn't speak by itself if we're not sharing them. It's a part of the marketing kind of process that every designer artist have to be also train themselves to develop from there. All right. Okay, Michelle, don't take it negatively there, right? Okay. I'm not sharing some naked photos of someone else. Okay. I'm sharing a good thing about the work there. I believe that work is quite potentially has to be shared. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So careful when you use the word also there, right? At the same time there, okay? Because if I sharing some naked things, right? Okay, some porn movie, maybe there, okay? That one thing can be negative there. But the good things, I believe, we have to be shared. And for the rest of you guys, don't get too negative there, okay? Because I've seen that kind of works, okay? If you guys approach me also, I would share there, okay? I would share the things there, okay? The good things about it because I've seen some of my students, not from your groups there, okay, who actually have also have this negative kind of thoughts in social media, but they don't think about that. Just whining, mumbling about things, about the not important things there, right? If you say that being a mental kind of illness can be a good thing to promote yourself as an artist, I think it's a full of shit. Okay? Every artist basically or every person actually join art classes is basically have mental problems, basically have. Why? Because if you not actually have a mental kind of illness or problems, you might join business classes lah, right? Learn about business marketing, right? Okay, all the things that can provide you more kind of good kind of earn of living in the futures there, it will be, right? But arts is came from passionate people who passionate, love about design, love about beautiful aesthetical kind of things that made them to join the racket. And if you check a look nowadays, business also need designer and artists to grow their marketing kind of strategies. Basically, they use them to create some of the video promotions there, right? Okay. And also, if you take a look at headphones, every handphone there's a games there, okay? Who actually made all these kind of games there? Crazy designers and artists there, right? So in a good way. So using your kind of depression or whatever mental that you have in a good way. All right? Those are the things there. Don't put it in a bad way. People will actually put away and you lose a lot of friends because of some, because you just want to show your kind of mental illness quite cool there. Okay. It's not that cool if you don't actually show your progression on the works there. Right. If you talk about like Vincent van Gogh there, right? Okay. also have this kind of mental illness there. Salvador Dali there, right? He have also, but in a good manner. But Vincent Van Gogh actually, right? He cut his own hair, ears there, right? Okay. But H.R. Geiger, the late H.R. Geiger there, right? Okay, who actually create aliens, also have this kind of psychological kind of mental kind of problem stuff, but in a good way there basically. He made also a lot of money from there, from his creations. Who else there? You can see again, most of artists have this kind of small problem, kind of mental problem lah, okay? Because why? Because we love to do something that we love to do, okay? But the problem is whether you gain something from there, people hired you from your profit, or nowadays you can actually create your own channels to get a passive income from there, right? So those are the things that you manage yourself more from there. All right. I have also some of the basically one of my friend, my clique there, okay. When she actually saw my kind of works before that previously, right? Some of the way that I've done like this one there, okay, like monsters characters there, right? She once actually told me there, okay. She say, hey, I saw your works there, right? Did you take any drugs there, right? From there, right? I quite love that guy. When she saw my works there, okay, she told me that, hey, did I take any kind of drugs, any kind of what you call that? Some of the things that can make you high when you design your works there, right? I say no there, right? I didn't smoke, so I didn't do this kind of stuff there, right? Okay. So what I do basically, I just laying around with my imaginations there. Listen to the good kind of music there that can rise up my imaginations, motivate myself to do some research a bit more. And I don't believe all this kind of stuff because back in the 80s, 70s, that people always said, 90s also the same thing. Some of my friends say, if they take marijuana or this kind of toxic kind of things, chemical kind of things, they can imagine more, be in their own world. I say all this kind of shit is bullshit there, right? Okay. To be creative, you don't have to take all this kind of stuff there, right? You just have to be on your own there, right? You have to imagine more, practice more, passionate more on your works there. That's all, right? You have to follow your passion there, okay? That's all there, right? Okay. But of course, you have to be in your own way and your own time there. You need to have your own personal kind of time all the time there, right? Okay? To develop your creative skills. That's our things there. Yeah. Sometimes I spend, even though I have a family, I raise all these 5 kids, 4 kids of mine there, okay? Even though they're okay, I have also my family time with me, but my family basically have also been trained because I made it all this kind of thing in my early days, okay? Because my mom also, okay, before this, when I actually before she lived with him, she lived with me when I lived with my parents there, okay. I I remember we have only a small room, okay. I have my own room. I have 2 sisters there, okay. But when I actually go back into my parents' house, I have my room that I share with my sister become my room there, okay, because they understand, okay, because I sleep outside, but I would do my work inside my room there, in the room there, okay. So I will always have my time there, okay, to do some research, to explore a bit more, right, okay, to watch movie, to draw, to practice. Even though I have socialized myself, but not socializing to club there, right? Even though I raised in KL there. But I go to socialize my friend at the mama, at the mama, right? Okay? Hanging around the mama there, right? Okay? Those are the most of the Malaysian do, right? Okay? Most of the kids nowadays do also by playing games, but I chat with my friends, go to jamming with some of the music jammings at the times there, right? But I never take all this stupid stuff there, right? Those are the things there. I always know myself that what I want, right? So those are the things that I've done. Hopefully this conversation will give you guys with more kind of inner kind of understanding your own kind of journeys there. Everyone have their own journeys there. Zarani there, right? Okay. I really appreciate your works there. I really, really admire there, okay, your kind of efforts from there. Don't take it as a part of negative there. I really appreciate that. But don't take it as a part of the things that you can advantage there, okay, that you can actually produce the good works in the future there. For me, stay low is good for us, but sometimes we need to promote a bit on ourselves there. What I've done basically in my experience there, okay, I have also hard times there, okay, because a lot of closest friend of mine, most of it, not all of it, I have also a lot of closest good friend, but most of my closest one there, okay, put me as a part of the competitions for them, not a part of the advantage for them to growth with me there. Right? Those are the things that I actually have experienced there. This is a normal thing happens there. People, the closest one that you live with and also you befriend with also there, okay, will stab you at the back. All this kind of thing happens there. Right, okay. Not only for me, for other people also the same thing there, okay. The thing happens there, okay. Sometimes people not only take advantage, but they feel quite inferior and also quite you as a competition there. For me, it's not okay. Like what I actually have trained myself, like the Kanan, for example, like me and Miss Anis, okay. I believe everyone have their own. I cannot do what Miss Anis have done there, okay, for your lecturing class. Really, there, right? I can't, there, right? All this kind of informations, methods, okay. I can't actually do this kind of things there. Even though I can, but I really can't put myself into that. Okay? Because I hate paperwork there. Right? I really hate it. But I learned that slowly, but not perfectly, like Miss Anis has done that. Right? Like Mr. Kana also have his own kind of specialty. For example, like he can work fully in 3D animations there. I did also a few number kind of works, and I'm using all these friends as a part of my advantage there to develop the work together there, right? We work together, okay, for quite a lot, okay, in the early days there. So those are the things there. I taking my friend as my advantage there to grow together, to develop together, right? Even though most of the thing that we work is not that quite succeed commercially, but in the friend base, in the connection base, we succeed there, right? We succeed there. So take it there, okay? But some of the friends, yeah, if you may experience later on, there are some negative thoughts about you. Hopefully you guys not find Zarani as a part of competitions there. Even competition in the right way. Okay, for me, if I see some of my friends who better than mine, I'm not challenged to become as good as he can be, right? But I using my own kind of skills to develop my own way, right? Try to find some unique way because I cannot actually go into his face there. For example, like Mr. Kanan or Mr. I cannot actually go for their face there, okay? They have their own way of working that I cannot actually, what we call it, compete there, right? But I will do my own, okay? But try to connect it and link with each other in line there, okay? To make the things work together. That's all. Don't find competition that made bad reputations there, right? Okay? Those are the things there, okay? For your relationships or things, okay? Work together there, okay? Find some other good things from you guys, from your friends. Make it as about a growth kind of team kind of efforts later on in the future there. But don't take advantage. You want to do less works and let all these kind of skill people, for example, there, right? Okay, like a team kind of works that you have with the student normally, okay? Do more from you guys there, okay? Those are another good kind of healthy kind of way there, okay? Because each one of you guys have your own responsibility to manage to develop your skills, to develop your own portfolios there, right? When you go to find jobs, you don't bring other people's portfolio there. You bring your own portfolios there because you're the one who actually going to manage, develop, arrange, and right, not other people there, right? Unless you can become, even though you want to become a director and creative artist, I did also the same things when I actually direct people. I do also go into that field there. At least I sit around with my 3D modeler, like Mr. Kana, for example, there, right? When we actually manage one of the works like TNG, there, okay, touch and go, okay, for a few, I think last year there, okay. I cannot actually what we call that. I know that he actually can animate and model better than me there, okay. So I give a bit kind of directions to him. I work close to him, even though using online, right? Then I leave it him to develop them, take a look back again, take a look at progress, do some amendment a bit, persuade a bit for the works, and then the job is history there, okay? We succeed there, right? Okay, that's all. Right, everyone get the pace. It's a good thing there. But people who manage sometimes get more kind of what you call that pay rate than the workers lah. This is a normal thing there, okay? So manage the thing well there, okay? So everyone can be happy there, okay? Those are the things. All right, guys. Okay, Michelle. All right. I really apologize if the thing that I share, like Zaranya can works, will make some of you guys not feel quite good. But my kind of attentions, I want to give a little bit kind of. Yeah, like Omar saying, your work is quite good there, right? It's actually good there, right? Okay? It's deserved as much exposure there, and give a bit kind of inspiration, hopefully for the rest of you guys there, right? Those are the things there, right? Challenge in the good manner there, okay? Try to compete in a very more positive way there, right? Can I do a little bit more better than him? So I will go back into more research, right? And do whatever that I think is quite possible for me to approach my works there, right? We cannot be like what I actually showed there, okay? Maybe you can actually be like me at that time there, but hopefully you can do more better than me. Those are the things there. I always love to see that. Okay, guys? So whatever that we go through, basically, right, it's all based on our experience there, right? From the experience itself there, okay? So the videos, the YouTube channels, basically, I'll share is basically for you guys, for the students. See how hard is it is faced there? Want to show basically, okay, the methods of working there, right? All right, okay, Michelle, all right. Okay, normally when I actually have this kind of conversations there, I will take more closer on the works later on there, Michelle. So remember, right? I will go into closer on your works there later on to see whether basically you can do it in the right way or not there, okay? Like this one there, right, Michelle there. No, like I just playing around there, right? But it's good if I put more attention, right, okay, on the works there. Right. Michelle also have block. Oh, this is you, Michelle, like me, we. Right, good sketches there, Michelle there. Huh? You also deserve attention there, right? Right. Right, good kind of examples there. Hopefully it's not tracing from other people's works, right? Like Michelle have, right? Short narrative documents, right? This one basically you're taking from, most of you guys taking from other people's kind of poems, or you create on your own there, right? Michelle. Is it? Okay, good there, okay. It's a good practice there, right? No, Lara, okay. Improve from time to time there, okay? Yeah, right? Right? Improve that from time to time. Don't worry there. All right. We have to be open a little bit there, okay? Normally from this kind of stage there, because if you learn to open up your mind, there's a lot of good things will come to you back again. Trust me on that. Even though there's always have a negative kind of influence there, but don't bother them, right? Okay? As long as you know your directions there, they always been there, okay? So let's take a look at our main kind of cast there, right? For today. Zarani there, right? Zarani, right? Isham.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
This is only a sketches, right? Then you work with the other compositions there, depth of field. Not that bad, good, all right. Only a few details if you want to add lah, right? Okay, because you laid 20 hours there, right? And some sketches there, good, right? Right. Don't
Yes,
feel
thanks,
bad,
sir.
okay? Because normally, yes, if when I actually do my work also, I can see a lot of some of the mistakes that people can't see. Right? People always thought that oh, this nice, you can because I have that kind of experience also. I really hate that, right? Okay? Because when I actually present some of the works previously for like some of the organizations, uh, with my friend inside this kind of organization, right? Okay? Because when I actually this is my experience lah. Right? When I actually want to what we call that present and also apply some of the grant money there, okay, for my works there, okay. Basically, when I actually present the works, the this is the comic that I've done there, okay. Maybe you have seen before the comics about Patani before, there, okay. This is the final works there, right? Um, Basically, I just presented the works looks like a finished product, but we know basically there's a lot of tons of works that we have done, right? We need to do there, okay. After that, but somehow, sometimes all these management kind of people thought that, okay, oh, this kind of thing is good, right? You guys can apply that, right? Okay? Or you just can present it, right? They doesn't know basically all the behind the process that we have to go through first before we're going to present it, right? Okay? They always thought that the thing that we have done is a finished product, there, right? I really hate this kind of thing happens sometimes. Okay, people always say, "Oh, you can actually complete okay, the works, right? Okay?" They never thought that there's a lot of kind of back-to-back kind of works we have to complete there first before we're going to present them there, okay? They doesn't know the process there, okay? That kind of things also, hopefully, some of you guys from other courses will actually have this kind of exposures, okay? You know, basically, oh, there's a lot of things can we need to do that, okay, before, okay? Like this one, okay? This is some of the demonstrations that I did for one of the tab-based kind of games that I actually want to create. Okay, one of the reason I give very simple kind of methods of gameplay there. Okay, because when I actually want to create this kind of gameplay there. Okay, because I just want to have basically the clear ideas there, how actually the game's going to be, and the module that I actually create is just like a Flappy Bird there. Okay, we just tap play the games, and then the monetizations kind of this game, there are going to be a lot of commercials there, going to be pop up on the gameplay there. Okay, those are the money came from there. But all these kind of management kind of people, even though in the creative management kind of things, they don't understand that, right? They thought everything is going to be complete like that, okay? There's more we have to go from there. There's a few number kind of levels, a few number kind of characters can be developed, okay, for the gameplay itself, okay? There's a lot of basically a lot of things that we have to manage and structure them back again. But this is something my demonstration to show, to sell, to show people, okay, this is the type of the games, this is the look and feels that I want to do basically for the titles that for the game itself. Okay, I made it actually by the video gameplay and also the music also that I create on myself. Okay, so to show the people, okay, this is the thing that we want to sell there. Okay, but yes, a lot of people thought everything has to be complete. Okay, for me at this stage, okay, there's a few number kind of detailing that you can do like if you want to, right? Okay, especially on the shadow shapes there, the heavy shadow for the structures of the rocks can be improved there, right? Okay. When you look at the sketches here, there, okay, maybe you're not actually doing enough kind of improvement from there, right? Okay, on the research from this kind of shapes, right? Okay, it can be improved there. It can be improved as long as you know where is your mistakes there. People will look okay at your work sometimes when people doesn't have enough kind of experience. Oh, it's quite nice. Okay, right, some shadows maybe from here, maybe add a little bit there, right? A lot of detailing can be done, lah, right? But it's a good start there from works. All right. Oh, 2 a.m. All right. Last minute kind of works. All right. Yes, Timothy. What is it, right? You want to order something there, right? You want to order something for us, I want one fried rice with a chicken breast and also a soup and also the ice there, right? All right, Timothy, right? Don't worry, right? Oh, McDonald's, right? Okay, is there anyone McDonald's like a Happy Meal, or you want to have the what do you call that? Value meal there, okay? All right, Travi Patty there. All right, guys. All right. Okay, Timothy is okay, right? Okay. So, you guys, okay, for this sessions, hopefully I can shine a bit more on your experience, on your exposures from here, right? The methods of animations is quite simple there, right? I'm eating and listening at the same time. Good there, right? Okay. So guys, okay, thank you there for these sessions. Hopefully you guys can gain a bit from there. I believe that the sessions is not only learning the tools, but you learning some people experience there that you can actually bring over to your works there, right? Okay. So thank you very much there, right? And so for the times and also improve a bit more from there, right? I think Miss Anne is going to be engaged with you guys also with your deadline at the same times. Okay. All right. And also keep on practicing, improve a bit more. And the most important thing is preparing your illustration first before you are going to develop any kind of motions there. Lay it. For me, I'm using minimum is 5 layers there. Easy for me to manage there, right? Okay. So it's a very simple kind of things that basically you can actually follow, and then you can actually improvise from your kind of what we call the perspective and point of view there, right? Okay. And thank you very much. Have a nice day and have a good kind of lunch and take care, you guys. Okay. All the best.